Hi, I'm Jake Sundles, and I really enjoy longboarding. Recently, Glenna Evans, a 27-year-old, died in an unfortunate and tragic longboarding accident. She recently placed 5th in the World Championships for downhill longboarding, so it's a sad thing that happened the way it did. I personally have a friend who almost died about a month ago out longboarding just because he didn't know when to brake or how to brake properly. So that was sad to me. And so I kind of want to go over longboarding safety a little bit today and teach you how to do 2 basic stops, a foot brake and a power slide. Okay? Right before we get to that, I want you to understand a couple of things about the kind of equipment you should be wearing before you go out longboarding and before you try some of these brakes. Okay? The first thing is you want to be properly dressed, a shirt on, some shorts on. Trust me, you want a shirt on. If you wipe out, it feels a lot better. Speaking from experience, okay? You're going to want knee pads on. I've got big old plastic knee pads on here, okay? The nice thing about knee pads is that as long as they cover your knees and they're tightened all the way, which is very important, okay? You can just fall in the asphalt and it's not going to hurt. For example, woohoo! You'll be just fine. You can have a lot of fun with it, okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is you're going to want to invest in a trusty dusty pair of gloves, okay? These gloves, they got thick plastic on the bottom to protect you. So when these are on your hands, you can grind your hands right on the asphalt. And you're not going to feel a thing except for, well, the plastic, you're going to feel it rubbing down there. It's not going to hurt. So these are super important to wear, okay? And you want to make sure that these are securely fastened to your hands, just like you are going to do with your knee pads, okay? Very important. Now I want to go over a couple of dynamics of the board with you. First thing is that this big piece of wood right here, this is of course the deck. There's black stuff on top of the board. This is the bottom. You don't want to stand there, you want to stand on the top. It's called a grip tape. It's meant to be sticky. That way your feet can stick to it. If you're riding a friend's board, just make sure your feet stick to this okay. It's somewhat sticky. That'll help you be safe and not fall off your board at a random time when you're going fast and don't want to. Okay. Now this here at the bottom is a piece of metal called a truck. Okay. And if you keep this really tight, it makes it difficult to turn and difficult to power brake. Okay. If you keep it loose, it makes it really easy to turn, really easy to power brake. Not as safe when they're loose, but you're more free. Okay. So I like having them like that. Now that you kind of understand the board, I want to go over a foot brake with you. Come on over here. Foot brake's simple. You put your back foot down and you slide it. Pretty easy to do. You'll be safe using the foot brake on a low grade. Okay, if your grade starts to get steep, then you don't want to be using a foot brake anymore. You're going to wear your rubber right off the shoe. I've done it, okay? You don't want to wear your shoes down like that. You're going to want to use what they call the power slide. This is one of the most common forms of stopping for the people who have learned how to do it. To do a power slide, you have to get some speed up. Okay, it's designed for a steeper grade. And then you're going to keep your foot directly over the front truck of the board, which is a proper stance. Okay, front foot over the front truck. And what that's going to do, step further back for you. What that's going to do when your front foot's over the front truck is you can put weight right down here on this leg. Almost lift that leg up, which makes so there's not much weight on the back. You can slide this back tire. And the idea is that when you're riding, you're going to slide, it's going to act like a brake and stop you. If you've done snowboarding, skimboarding, surfing, you'll understand the concept of turning your board sideways to brake. Let me give you an example. That's how you do a proper brake. As you can see, if you're not careful, you don't have your gloves on, it could hurt a little bit. Okay. I know Glenna Evans recently passed away longboarding. I learned that from momsteam.com, who got their resources from IVCAWorldCup.com. Okay, that's a very sad thing that happened. I really believe that if we're safe, wear the proper gear, that won't happen. Now, tragedies can happen, probably won't. So anything I want you to know, people on that are watching this video, remember, be safe, have fun, don't be sorry. Let's go forward, not backwards with our safety. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great